Good afternoon. I wonder what you've been doing today. Well, I'm lucky enough to have a garden, so I've been out in the garden today and I've been planting some green beans that I hope will grow this summer and I'll be able to eat them later on, and maybe I'll be able to share them with my neighbours and my friends if I get lots of them. And that's really the theme for today's Messy Church. It's about being a good neighbour, a kind Samaritan is what we're going to talk about. So, caring for others, that's really the theme. And I wonder, at the moment, it's very difficult, isn't it, sometimes, to imagine how we can be kind to one another when we have to stay in our own homes. But there are lots of ways I think we can do that. So I'm going to do a craft, and my craft today is going to be called Colin the Caring Caterpillar. Then I'm going to tell you the story. It's the story of the Good Samaritan, but our version is called The Kind Stranger. So let's start with our craft. Now I'm going to show you what you're going to need for your craft today. If you haven't got those things now, or you're still playing out in the garden and you want to do it later, you can always watch this video again then. So you're going to need 2 circles to draw around. I've got 2 glasses. They're both plastic, so they can't break. I've got a big one and I've got a little one. So I'm going to need those to draw around. I'm going to need my pair of scissors. I'm going to need 2 colours of paper. Now I'm lucky enough to have green and yellow, so I'm going to have a green caterpillar. I think that's the right colour for a caterpillar, but you can use whatever colours you've got in the house. You haven't really got to use 2 colours, because you could colour them in as well. That might be really nice to do if you've got some good colouring pens. And then you need something to join them together, maybe a stapler or some sellotape or some glue if you've got some. I'm going to use a stapler today. So, first of all, what we need to do is we need to draw round our glasses. So I'm going to take my green piece of paper there, and I'm going to get my big glass, and I'm going to draw some circles on this card. I started a little bit earlier so I could do it to show you, and then, as I said, you can make yours very carefully later. So I've drawn 2 circles on my green card, and I'm going to cut those out. There we are. Cut those out like that. And as I always say, you can probably cut a lot tidier than I can, because I'm trying to do this quickly to show you. There's one there, and then here's my next one. Oh, I'll hold the paper properly as I cut round these circles. Oh, this one's a bit harder to cut. There we are, nearly there. Nearly there. Seems to do lots of cutting in our crafts, don't we? So it's always good to have some good scissors. There we are. So I have made 2 circles for the caterpillar's body. Now you'll obviously need more than 2, but I'm going to show you with these 2 what you're going to do. And then you're also going to draw around your little glass on your other piece of paper, on your other colour, or as I said, you can colour them in afterwards if you've only got white paper. And you're going to draw round that one as well. And just like before, I'm going to cut this little circle out here. So, there we are. And some of you might be watching this on our website as well. That's on our Lampidar Benefice website, because there's lots of things to watch on there as well. Oh, hello Dee. Dee's watching. Nice to see you, Dee. Just looked up and saw your name there. So, surprised you're not out in the garden. So I now have 2 green circles and a much smaller red circle there. So on my yellow circle, my smaller one, I'm going to draw sort of a caterpillar face with some antennae there. There's my caterpillar face. Can you see that? There we are. This is going to be Colin, our caring caterpillar. And then on the other ones, because caterpillars do have little feet, I'm just going to draw some little feet on the bottom. You could, if you wanted to be really clever, make some and stick them on, but there we go. There's caterpillar feet there. Now we need to join our caterpillar's body together, so we're going to stick or tape or staple our circles together there. We don't want them to move around too much, so there we are. There's my caterpillar's body beginning to join together. And here I'm going to put the head of my caterpillar. And again, I'm going to staple the head to the caterpillar. So there, it's starting to grow into a big caterpillar. Now, what you can do to make this your special Colin the caring caterpillar is in each of these parts of the body, you could write things that you're going to do for other people. So you might say, tomorrow I'm going to tidy my bedroom, because it might be that maybe mum or dad or the person that looks after you has asked you, and you're going to do something really nice for them, and without being asked, tomorrow morning you're going to get up and tidy your bedroom. So you could put that in one of these. And you could put that as Sunday at the top. And then on Monday, you might want to think of something else to do. Maybe when you see your next door neighbour, you can give a smile and a wave over the garden, or just say hello to them, because some people do live on their own and they can be quite lonely. So those are the sorts of things you can do. Now I've made a big Colin earlier. Do you want to see it? This is my Colin, and I've started to write things in Colin. Here I've put on Sunday, I'm going to make breakfast for my daughters. Now they are a bit older, so they don't really need me to do that, so I thought that would be nice. And then on Monday, I'm going to phone at least 10 people to talk to see how they're doing, and to make sure that they're not feeling too lonely, or to make sure that they don't need anything. And then on Tuesday, I could write something else in here. And you know, my caterpillar could get longer and longer and longer. And you could write all the things that you've done for other people, or the things that you'd like to do for other people, on Colin the caring caterpillar. And as I said, you can make it longer and longer and longer. And it could, you never know, go all the way round your bedroom. So there is Colin the caring caterpillar. And when you've made them, please do put your pictures on our Messy Church website, our Facebook page, so you can show them to us and we can see all the lovely things that you've done and collected on Colin, your caring caterpillar. Now there is, I don't know if you know, other caterpillars called Colin in a certain shop, and I might have one of those later on. I might show you another caterpillar. But anyway, let me read you our story this afternoon. And our story is called The Kind Stranger, but most of you might know it as the story of the Good Samaritan. Now, Jesus was teaching one day and a man asked him a question. "Now, can you tell me, Jesus," he said, what do I have to do if I want to live forever? Well, Jesus smiled and he said, well, you have to love God. And you have to love your neighbour as much as you love yourself. Now, the man, well, he wanted to trick Jesus. So he said to Jesus, well, Jesus, who is my neighbour? Is he the person who lives next door to me? And Jesus, like he often does, said to the man, well, I'll tell you a story. This way, I think you may understand. Once upon a time, he said, there was a man like any one of us. And he was travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho. Now, as you know, because that's where they lived, it is a very dangerous road. It's twisty and it's steep, and there are no end of places for robbers and thieves to hide. Well, the robbers were waiting that day, and they grabbed the man. They beat him. They took his money, and do you know what? They left him just to die. Oh dear, sighed the crowd listening to the story, and they felt very sorry for the man. And Jesus went on with his story. In a little while, another man came walking down that same road, and this man was a priest, and he was on his way home from worshipping God at the temple. He saw the dying man, and what do you think he did? He helped him, shouted someone in the crowd. He saved him, shouted another. No, said Jesus firmly, he didn't do either of those. He took one look at that poor beaten man, and he crossed to the other side of the road, and he walked away. Oh, no, the crowd murmured. Wait, Jesus continued, because soon another man passed by. He served God at the temple too. And what do you think this man did when he saw the wounded traveller? He ran for help, shouted someone. He raised the alarm, said another. No, said Jesus again. He didn't. Just like the priest, he crossed to the other side of the road and he left the poor man there to die. Oh, the crowd sighed. They couldn't believe the story Jesus was telling. But don't worry, said Jesus, for there was one more man who passed by that day, and he was a Samaritan. A Samaritan? Shouted someone. But they're different from us. We hate Samaritans, shouted another. And they hate us, shouted a third. So I've heard, nodded Jesus. But when this Samaritan saw the man, he didn't walk away. No, he bandaged his wounds. He loaded him onto his own donkey. He took him to a nearby inn and he paid for that man to stay there until he was well. Now Jesus looked back at the man who had asked him the question. Can you remember what the question was? The man had asked, "But who is my neighbour?" And Jesus said to this man, "So tell me," he said, "which of these men was a neighbour to the man who had been robbed?" The man answered, "The third one, the Samaritan." "That's right," smiled Jesus, "because my neighbour is anyone who needs my help. Now you go and help your neighbour too." There, you've probably heard that story before. You've probably heard the open the book people read it and act it to you. But you know, you can be a neighbour to anyone. You can be a neighbour to your sisters and your brothers and your carers and your mums and your dads. You can be a carer to your real neighbours, those people who live in the same road as you do. Or you could be a neighbour to somebody who's walking along the street. You might just want to smile or say hello to them when you're out for your walk and your exercise, with your parents. So you can be a neighbour to anyone. Now, a song. I was trying to think of a song that would help us because, you know, even though the weather's lovely and we can be good neighbours, sometimes we still need to know that God is on our side and that God loves us and God helps us in our lives. So I've chosen the song today, Be Bold and Be Strong. And I know those of you that have done this with me at Messy Church do love the actions. So let's sing our song today. Do join in with me, won't you? So we're going to be bold, we're going to be strong because the Lord our God is with us. We're going to be bold, strong because the Lord our God is with us. And then it's, we are not afraid. No, no, no. We are not dismayed. No, no, no. And then we're going to walk because we're walking in faith and history. Because we're walking in faith and history. Because the Lord our God is with us. Are you ready? I'm going to take my glasses off for this, I think, in case they fall off or I knock them off. Let's sing. Be bold, be strong, 'cause the Lord your God is with us. Be bold, be strong, 'cause the Lord your God is with us. We are not afraid, no, no, no. We are not dismayed, no, no, because we're walking in faith and history. Yes, we're walking in faith and history, 'cause the Lord our God is with us. Are you ready to do that again with me? Now you know all the actions. Let's go. Be bold, be strong, 'cause the Lord our God is with us. Be bold, be strong, 'cause the Lord our God is with us. We are not afraid, no, no, no. We are not dismayed, no, no, 'cause we're walking in faith and history. Yes, we're walking in faith and history, 'cause the Lord our God is with you. Well done if you've done it. It's a hot day to do an action song. So I'm going to finish with a prayer. Then I thought I might show you another Colin the caterpillar. So let us pray. Just take out a moment of quiet like we would, just to bow our heads. Dear God, we know that some people feel lonely and scared, and they think they haven't got any good neighbours, especially at this time when we can't go out and see people like we normally would. Help them to know that you love them, and please teach us to be good neighbours to everyone, just like the Good Samaritan in our story today. Amen. So, would you like to see my other Colin? Here's my other Colin. These are maybe not quite so helpful and caring as the one I made, but they taste absolutely delicious. And I would share them with you if you were here with me. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.